Well, well, it seems we have reached what I consider another milestone. It's not huge, but it's good all the same. This is the sort of stuff that off-gridders love, this is the sort of stuff that greenies love, and it's press button convenience, which isn't always the case in the off-grid life. I have achieved running slow cookers directly off my solar equipment, and this is going to be good. This is going to be a hell of a lot more meals solar cooked, so to say, and yeah, a lot more convenient, because all I'll be doing is just peeling the veggies and throwing it in. Doesn't cost me any propane or LPG at the end of the day, and if I use my little timer, we'll come back to stuff cooked while we are at work. This is the slow cooker I bought second hand. This is the very small one. It's only a lousy 110 watts. Now, the pot for it is also rather small. I gave that a wash out the other day. I got another one that's got a bigger pot. I'll bring that into the light so you can get a bit of a comparison. Take the lid off. Set the lid somewhere. Yeah, quite a lot bigger. Substantially bigger, actually. I would have to say it's, oh gee, at least 2.5 times the size. That one's only 140 watts. That's a Japanese one. She got a bit of dust and shit in there I've got to wash out still. I probably should be trying that Japanese one first, but this one's already washed out. I washed it yesterday and put it back in this old box that my slow cooker, the pressure cooker, come in. So I know that's clean, and the other one isn't. But I'm going to try all of them eventually anyway. So I've just done all this, and I'm going to throw all this in for about 3 hours. It's got a little bit of this stuff. What the hell that is again? Some sort of a choy sum, and yeah, might put a bit of that in. We'll just see how we go, but I think I'll be battling to get all this in. And although it's nice that I sort of use the big one first, I just want to see the small one operate, and that's the one that's clean, and the sun's already up and ready to go because I sort of slept in a bit. So yeah, I'm going to give it 3 hours with this, and I might use the other one tomorrow while I'm at work to see if I can cook some stuff up. So we'll load her up and off we'll go. Okay, well, you probably can't see that very well, but I've got some Wombok in the top there. I've plugged it in. We'll just turn her on. There we go, she's on high, and I'll leave that there for about 3 hours. I believe the time now is probably 9:50. I'll call it 9:50 anyway. I don't think you really see it. Oh, you probably can a little bit there, about the middle of the screen. It's only been going for 10 minutes and building up condensation already. Now, I had to talk to my mum in regard to slow cookers. Any stems you get, sort of like on your Asian greens, your your bok choys especially, your silver beets especially. If you have those at the top, they tend to go a bit black because they oxidize. But only if they're on the top. If you put them on the bottom, you're right. Don't add any extra water with a slow cooker, otherwise you end up making soup, regardless of the fact you think everything's going to dry out. What happens is the lid, at least for that one, and I think for all of them actually, because the other Japanese one's the same. Hang on, I'll just get this kettle. The lid doesn't have a little steam vent. And what happens is it just keeps condensing back down and dropping back into the pot itself. And I bought the brand new one the other day. I don't know where the bloody hell I put the box. It's probably in my car. I'll have to dig a bit deeper, but shouldn't have gone too far. But at least for that small one and the Japanese one, there's no vents at all. And I don't think even with her big one there's any vents either to let the steam out. And the idea is it just keeps going round and round in circles. The other point she made was that potatoes have a lot of water in them. And when you cook potatoes, there will be a lot of water come out of those. And also pumpkin will just sort of go into slops. It won't cook nicely. It will just sort of almost turn into a sauce in the bottom. So if you cut up pumpkin fine, you probably got an instant thick pumpkin soup just by throwing it straight in the slow cooker. It'll be very thick. You know, and if you want, you could probably add a little bit of water and it'll be thick enough that you could just pour it straight out of the pot, straight into your bowl, and have it like that as normal pumpkin soup. Yeah. That's all that was really mentioned. Don't bother with dehydrated beans, you'll be there forever. Although tinned chickpeas and stuff are fine. Meat's alright, but I'm probably not going to use meat in it. I don't like getting everything covered in fat, because then you got to clean it out quickly, and if you don't it goes rancid, and it's just, oh, I had too many episodes trying to clean up fat, and it's just like, see, it feels like it's never ending. So anything that I do meat related always happens in a frying pan. But for meat, yeah, you can cook meat quite well in there. Some of these books that you'll get on on slow cookers, they'll tell you to put it in for, 7 hours or bloody 10 hours. I've even seen one recipe. Yeah, that's a bit of a, they extend the times out pretty long, and most of the time 3 to 5 hours will cook just about anything. One thing they did do is they had dal, which is an Indian dish, which uses split yellow peas, like split yellow lentils to be exact, and they done that in a slow cooker. So you may be able to get those, but just because they're so small to cook in a slow cooker. But if you've got, like, dried kidney beans or something like that, it'll probably just take forever. But yeah, it's good stuff. Stuff that comes out of a slow cooker is absolutely brilliant. My mum's got a large one that when I still lived at home, she used that for roasts, and well, she still does for some Saturday nights when I come over. And we end up cutting these sheep's rumps, sheep arse, and sheep legs and that up on the bandsaw to a particular size, just so they will fit in her slow cooker. And we'll cut them like 2-3 inches short of the total width of the slow cooker, and then she just plonks the blooming thing in. You don't have to muck around and recut, because you've already cut it with a bandsaw as you were butchering the sheep to the right size. Plonk it in, and it's brilliant. Throw a few potatoes in there and a few bits of pumpkin, and the pumpkin sort of all just goes slop on the bottom. And yeah, it cooks fantastically. Her one is 230 watts, which is just a bit too high for my inverter. Because my inverter can only manage 200 watts and 250 watts for bursts of half an hour if you really need to get an extra light or whatever running. Yeah, I'm a little bit restricted with what I've got in that regard, that I can't go really above 200 watts. But then again, I've only got 240 watts of panels. That may change. But the other thing is, it's the absolute top of the line. I haven't even told people what I've had as an inverter at some of these things, and I've said, what's the best inverter? And they tell me, well, the Rolls-Royce is, bang, the same brand I've got, Selectronics. And it's basically like a commercial grade one, not some piece of shit you get that's made in China from one of these camping stores, because that stuff just ain't going to play ball in the hot weather that we have, and it's as simple as that. It will just shut itself out in the hot weather. But my one, not a problem, because it's a very, very good brand. But then again, I've got a rather small size, which at times I did wish I had a bigger size, but I've got what I've got, and I know that I can run it at full power and still be charging my batteries up from the previous night with the existing amount of solar panels I've got. So you just find appliances that are small enough to suit, and that's the way it goes. I found the other one. For some reason I thought it was 180 watts. It's 120, so that sort of makes sense. I believe that other one's called Modern Living, and this one's called Desco. I believe it's basically, the one I'm using right now is just a earlier version of the same thing, released by the same major supermarket chain. At another 10 watts higher capacity. This is Woolworths, which is a big supermarket chain over here, and it's it's much the same size of pot. The lid's about the same size. It's pretty much just the brand new version of the same one I've got running at the moment, except the other one's probably, I don't know, about 2 years old or something. An extra 10 watts, so I thought it was 180, so that's good, and that explains why the big Japanese one's 140, because it's quite a bit bigger, so it's got more to heat up. At some point I'll inevitably use this, but I mean, it's obviously perfectly clean, so I don't need to wash it because it's still brand new. Alrighty, we are 1 minute short. Oh no, right on now, exactly on 4 hours since we put that in. I want to eat some real lunch, not just butter a few slices of bread as it was before. So I'll go flick this off. Put the PowerPoint. You might see it's, oh, she's sort of warm. Just give us a second. I'll grab something here. Yeah, that was finger burning good, so I need to get that. Didn't look like it was cooking, but there's a good reason for that. And it's because the stuff at the top there didn't really look like much had changed. Yeah. Shit, it's actually burnt on the sides. Just this Wombok here. I didn't end up using the choice sum. I had a Wombok. Deceiving looking at that at the top. I think Mum sort of recommends, well, at least the large white stems, if not the greens to go on the bottom, but it's, yeah, so we'll have to put those on the bottom next time. Hang on, I'll just grab a knife. Spoon's good enough. All I really want to do is break up the potato. Oh yes, the potato's definitely softener. Holy smoke. Yeah, I probably should have only put it on for 3 hours because, oh yeah, shit, I'm going to be scrubbing the sides of this. And
Gee, that's beautiful. It's lovely and moist. Yeah. Well, there we go. Live and learn. That 4 hours is a little bit too long. There's a bit there dry to the sides. As we get down, it should be sort of moist at the bottom. Yeah, there's a little bit of water at the bottom. Not much though. She recommended not putting water in. I might just put a little trickle in, maybe a third of a cup, a quarter cup or something. But that's good. Even the, how's that? Punch straight through the carrots without a problem there. That's good. Only thing is, we don't need it for 4 hours. We probably should only put it for 3. And a recommendation of not using any water, well, I think we probably should just use a little bit, especially if we put greens in there. But anyway, it's one of these things. This is the first time I've actually used a slow cooker, and I'm going to have to probably give this pot a bit of a soak and give it a scrub. I've already washed out the Japanese one with the bigger pot that I showed, the big brown pot before, with the white outsides and the brown insides, and so we will be probably using that tomorrow. I'll stick it on my timer, which is one of those, just your regular mains powered timers. You guys have all seen it, I don't need to show it. But anyway, pour this out on a plate and top it up with water to let the sides there soak a bit and get eaten. Alrighty, well you can probably see just the outline of the glass lid there. And I know you can see that as well. That's my little timer. And that's only stopped about 15 minutes ago. I just come back from work. And I lifted the lid on this and it's all very nice and steamy and whatnot. But give me a second here. And I'll pull this out and we'll have a look at the food inside. Alrighty. The lid isn't too hot, fortunately. The bloody sides are shockingly hot. Little bit dark looking there. That's from oxidisation because I actually put this in the night before and it was sitting there from like anything from 8 o'clock through to 10 AM this morning. Like 8 PM last night through to 10 o'clock this morning when I had this time to kick in. Yeah. Oh, beauty. Look at that. Seems to be steaming a little bit more when I take the lid off. I put a very small amount of water in the bottom, probably only about a third of a cup, like of a coffee mug. Yeah, straight through. This is good. You know, things are cooked properly when you can go straight through carrots without a problem. I sort of tend to slice them a little bit finer than I would do if I boiled them. Yeah, I don't think there's... Oh, look, there's a little bit of water on the bottom, yeah. But I think that just... Like Kitty, knows our part. I think that just really helps steam it more and probably cook it a lot better. Get out, Black Kitty. So that's remarkable, because that's... I actually got sick of peeling potatoes and sticking them in because I knew I was making more than I'd realistically have to eat, so I didn't take that much lunch to work today. But I mean, the thing is, it's only about 1:30 now, so I'm not really missing out much anyway. Yeah, there we go. Success. As you can probably tell, compared to my foot, that's a decent sized bloody pot. A lot bigger than the other two. But anyway, there we go. That is brilliant. That is successful, and I'll probably give the brand new one a run, just to make sure that it actually works, because I haven't actually taken it out of the box yet. And yeah. Okay, here's another one I done. That's rice. It's turned out quite alright. Probably about I had a good heap of water, maybe a cup and a half, and quite a bit of rice. And you might be able to see it's a bit of a brown tinge to it. I poured soy sauce over, and then see that stuff there is finer. That's actually garlic granules. Get out of it, cat. And in my half-asleep state, I didn't get much sleep at all last night. In my half-asleep state, I threw the garlic on top as a bit of an afterthought, thinking, oh yeah, a bit of the flavour will go through. The reality is I should have put the garlic on the bottom, but I didn't sort of do it. Till after I'd thrown the rice in as a bit of a, oh, I might as well throw that in as well, but it probably won't have much effect on the flavour. But having said that, if I mix it in, it shouldn't go unnoticed. So yeah, but there's quite a lot of rice in there. It's they probably serve two people. Let's see. Holy smoke! There you go. That's how deep the rice was, up to where my thumb is there. So that's a 2.5, 3 inches deep. So that worked quite well. Also, ran out of time while I was at work anyway. I'll hoe into this